Welcome, FNewsy57 here. Once again, I'm on my Xbox Series X. Today we're playing some Call of Duty MW3 MWZ, and this will be a complete guide showing you exactly how to keep your tombstone every single match after the Season 2 Reloaded update. So, if you want to duplicate some items, create a battle stone, or just generally have fun in the game, possibly unlock the new schematics in the easiest manner, whatever the case might be, I will ask you to patiently follow the video or use the timestamps in the description. It doesn't matter if you have a tombstone set already or if you don't have a tombstone going in. Just to show that this works with everything, you can see what I have on my character. You can also see that I have the 3 new schematics, the Blood Burner Key plans, the VR11 plans, and most importantly the Mag of Holdings plans. So we have these available to drop for our subscribers. If you need them, follow the instructions in the pinned comment, just like in Season 1. Without further ado, we'll get started. You do not need the Scorcher for this, and it's actually relatively easy to do. If you follow my instructions exactly, you will keep your tombstone every time you attempt it, hence why we have our Battlestone set up with the Aetherblade case, Flawless Ethereum Crystal, Scorcher case, Legendary Tool, Mag of Holding, and the Golden Armor Plate. And as you can see, I have also kept my insured weapon slot and my Aetherblade that was equipped. So, to start off with, make sure that you have the items that you want in your inventory, and then you will need to go into a game. If you already have a tombstone, we'll crumble that one and get started with our next tombstone. If you have spots available and you have the schematics available to craft, I would recommend, to make it a lot easier, that you bring in a can of tombstone soda and possibly stamina up, but that is entirely personal preference. You can buy them from the perk machine in-game. Now, before I actually go into the match, what you want to do to start off with is make sure that you go to your story missions and have Act 4 selected. You want to, if you have not completed the Act 4 missions, make sure that you select the first mission, Bad Signal. While this can be done with the countermeasures Ether Portal, you will need the Scorcher for that one. So we will not be doing that. Awesome, man. Enjoy. There's all 3 of the new schematics. Alright, so now that you've seen earlier, I just blessed that guy that was chilling on the roof with the new schematics. I haven't opened my tombstone yet. I haven't used any of the items that I came into the game with. So I'm going to open my tombstone just to show you that we do, in fact, have all of the items. An exact copy of what was in my inventory is in my tombstone from the previous match. You can see that this does work. This is what you are going to do. Whether you have a tombstone or not, the process is going to be the same. If you already have a tombstone in game, you're going to go ahead and take all of the items out of the tombstone, and then you will crumble your tombstone, and you'll be at the same point as any other player in the game, whether you had a tombstone or not. So now that we have all of the items, we've crumbled our tombstone. The next step is going to be very easy, and there's several different ways to do this, but you will need to acquire the tombstone perk, whether you buy it from a machine, the Wonder Fizz located somewhere in Tier 3, or you already have a perk can of it. It doesn't matter how you're going to actually go about getting it. And then you will also need to have at least 1,000 essence. And once you have that done and are ready to exit the game, we are going to go back over to the original Bad Signal portal, and we will be using that for our duplication and exfil method. Keeping in mind that the various methods that have been posted since Season 2's launch mostly have been patched. Drowning yourself has been patched. Exfilling on the normal exfils for like Defeat Zakharov or Johnson. Those have been patched. The Scorcher and Out of Bounds method does still work, but that is very difficult, as you've seen in my last video. So I will meet you guys over there in a moment. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about what to do to actually get this dupe and set the tombstone. So, whether you have no tombstone or you just finished crumbling your tombstone, you've played out the game and you got everything that you want now in your large rucksack, you're going to come to the spot that I'm at, and first I will explain exactly what you need to do, then I will actually do it. This way you get the timing perfect every single time. Yes, this has been out for a while with various methods of doing it, but I tested it to make sure that this will work with the schematics and works after the Season 2 Reloaded update. You do not need to have a Scorcher for this. If you have a Scorcher, it will make it a little bit easier, but you don't need it. You also don't need stamina up, and you don't need to have a Juggernaut suit, but if you have those items, it will be even easier. Personal preference at the end of the day. Do watch out, because if other randoms are around, they can technically mess this up. So just bear that in mind, or at the most, they will make it more difficult on you, especially if they're doing the raid weapon stash contract. So the very first thing for the method I'm going to show you, which I have been able to get to work 100% of the time, and I cannot say that I've been able to get the other methods to work, so this is the one that I recommend. You are going to need to learn the Ether language. There's several different portals you can use. You can use one that comes out around there. You can Scorcher fly to around here, use a portal that comes out there, use the portal that comes out there, or use the one that comes out like right around there. Not on the exfil, but right near that spot. So you don't have to worry about it. The one that I recommend is going to be the one coming out on this beach. Since there's multiple different maps for the Ether language, it's impossible to go by number. But what you want to do is you want to get up here to this second floor of the building, the side closest to the river, and you'll see on this door that a portal appears. The code that we will be using is going to be for the beach, as I mentioned. And the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure that you don't have a bunch of zombies around you, because obviously they will make that more difficult. You will need 1,000 points to go ahead and activate the portal. So stand back. This way you don't accidentally get sucked into the portal and mess up your timing. And then you will be looking for the code. I like to refer to this one as the N. It kind of looks like an N with a dot below it. Then we will do the up arrow. And lastly, we are going to do the one that, to me, it looks kind of like a weird 7 or possibly a elongated rectangle, whatever you want to call it. So you're going to enter that one. That will give you the option to buy the portal. Once the portal is purchased, you can either jump off the roof or you can simply run. And you can do this with your fists. You don't actually have to have the Scorcher out, but it will make it a little bit easier. There is a timer on that portal, so you're going to go ahead and get to the anomaly. And you're going to want to hit it. And if you have your Juggernaut suit, you can pull out the Juggernaut suit so that it consumes less sprint, and then follow my path exactly. So you'll go run straight through the center, go up the left stairs, up the left stairs again to your portal, go through the portal, and then immediately turn to your right and head this way. At 2 seconds, you'll pull up your map, go ahead and vote, and that will start a countdown timer. It counts down from 10, and you want to be standing so that you can see this kind of brown spot on the rock right there. It's very easy to identify. When that counter hits 6, you will simply walk past the border of the map and get the return to combat screen, at which point you will eventually be teleported to the Dark Ether, and sometime during that sequence you will receive the squad eliminated screen or sound, and then on the black screen following that states the actual Dark Ether zombies. that's when we will dashboard our game. So on console, obviously, it's just pull it up and quit the game. On PC, at that point, I believe it is Alt F4. It's really easy to follow the timing on that, so I'm going to go ahead and do it without explaining it. This way you guys can see the exact process. So you can see I'm back in this building. I will now be showing you the method to do this slightly quicker if you have the Scorcher. Otherwise, it's exactly the same. You're just going to sprint from the portal in, up the set of stairs, and then up the second set of stairs and go through the portal. The only thing that we do with the Scorcher is we skip the bottom stairs and we go from the top stairs down. So this way I'll show you both aspects of this. Randoms can muck it up, and if you feel like your timing is going to be off, simply do not accept the vote, and then you can go back to the portal and try again. Quickly, a huge shout out to my friend Dreams. He's the one that farmed to get us these schematics, so make sure that you give him a thumbs up there for that. Also, I believe the original founder for this portal method was Silent9. I believe I have that right. I could be mistaken, but shout out to him for finding the method. There's several different methods or different portals that you can use, but this is the one I've been able to get to work every single time. So we're going to go ahead and do that now, and if you need help with the schematics or whatnot, just ask any questions that you might have. So, again, if you have zombies, get rid of the zombies first, and then it's going to be the N, up arrow sign, and the 7 while staying back from the portal, by the portal, and then I prefer to just jump down, and it doesn't really matter which door you go through, but go ahead and run over to the anomaly portal. If there's a bunch of zombies and you don't have an ether blade, you might need to throw a decoy. So to make this just a little bit faster, I'm going to charge my Scorcher and then at the last second hit the anomaly portal, and we will use the Scorcher to jump us up high enough to get to the roof here, and then put the Scorcher away, go down the stairs, turn, and go down that set of stairs and go through the portal. Immediately turn to our right and sprint over here. By doing that, you save about 6 seconds. So we'll wait for the map timer to go ahead and say 2, open our map, vote, wait for this 10-second timer to say 6. At 6 or 5, you can go ahead and go to the return to combat area, and then you'll get transported, squad eliminated, wait for the black screen where it says Dark Ether Zombies in the upper left-hand corner, and dashboard your game. Alright, so upon reloading the game and arriving back in the lobby, you'll pretty much notice that it worked because your character will be holding whatever weapon that they had equipped out, and as you can see, I still have all of the items in my inventory. My ether blade came out with me, and I have my insured slot weapon. Now, if you exit when that countdown timer says 7 seconds, it will not work. If you exit when the countdown timer says 4 seconds, it will not work. So just remember that. If you enter when the countdown timer says 7 seconds and you quickly back out of bounds and go back into out of bounds, you'll go back in at 5 seconds-ish and you'll be okay. You can follow the same process. If you enter at 4 seconds, just follow the same process in dashboarding your game, but your tombstone more than likely will not set, and you'll still keep the items in your inventory. It's just you won't have a tombstone the following game. There is also variations of this where you may sometimes, depending on your timing, you may lose your insured slot weapon, or you will occasionally lose your tacticals and lethals if you have used them at the moment that you're actually going out of bounds, especially with the ether blade. If the ether blade hasn't actually come back and recharged yet, sometimes it doesn't come out of the game with you. So at this point, these are all real items. If you don't have a whole bunch of items like I do in your acquisition stash, if you're under the 10 of 10, then you can, of course, unequip those items and put them into your stash. Don't waste your time doing that with the schematic plans, because obviously that does nothing. So just to show that it worked, I'm going to load up another match and show you that my tombstone will be there at the graveyard. Now, while we're waiting for that to load, if you guys have a question, post a comment. Do me a huge favor and like and subscribe for more content. The like goal for this video is hopefully 200 likes. Otherwise, I will be very depressed. Anyways, till next time, my brothers and sisters, thy legion, thanks for watching. Most importantly, stay frosty. So now, as you can see, upon loading into the next match here, my tombstone icon is on the map. Don't fear, sometimes if your tombstone icon doesn't appear pinged, but the Stormcaller has appeared pinged in its place, just make sure you open the map and check for your tombstone. Assuming you followed the steps that I showed, then you should have absolutely no problem. You'll come in with all of the items, plus obviously have the items in your tombstone. So now you're set, your battlestone is set, and you are good to game. If you have any questions, let me know.